Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Siegfried and thanks for coming to my Facebook page, YouTube page, whatever it's called. And today, you know, they're talking on, this is a crazy time that we're in right now, but just remember, this too shall pass, and they're talking about a new normal. Well, you know what I think my new normal is going to be that I'm sharing with my patients? Your new normal is going to be hit the target right here, and it's going to and be healthy. So your new normal, try to think in terms of your new normal is going to be better health. And that's what we're talking about here. And today I'm going to talk about how I'm going to call it the breakfast of champions. Because over the years, I've played semi-professional baseball as a pitcher since 1976. Actually, it's before that. But in any case, what I'm going to show you today has really been one of the things, the breakfast that it's a little bit of variation from time to time, but this has been a basic breakfast for me for many, many years. For my family, and I tell other patients about it. And today I thought, well, I'm going to show you guys this because people are at home. I don't know, hopefully you're not going crazy, but this will be a good breakfast for you to try because number one, it's extremely healthy and it's very easy to do, and all these foods are bodybuilding foods. And when your body's stronger, your immune system's stronger, you can do what you want, and in the end, your health is your biggest hope. So especially now, you want to stay as healthy as you possibly can. So I'm going to start right in with what I do. So this is a pot. Okay, these are oats. Now there's rolled oats, there's steel cut oats, there's the whole oat grain, the whole oat groat. Right now I'm just showing you the whole oat rolled oats. And the reason I'm showing you the rolled oats like this is because they're easy to fix. They're all easy to fix, but this is one of the easiest to fix. And what you do, like for my family in the past, we've taken a scoop, like one of these here. This is about a cup of rolled oats, and I get these at Roth's. You can also get them at Bob's Mill here in Portland, but I think they're all over the country. They have good oats, and that's a very good source of the oats. And by the way, this is cheap food. This is you have to buy this other stuff, but oats are extremely cheap, very, very cheap. So, in fact, if you compare a box of oats, if you were to take a box of Cheerios and dump oats in them, you would see that the price is a lot less for a big bag of oats, which lasts longer and is much more nutritious. So what you do is you take a cup of these here like this, and then you put them in the pot, depending on the size of the pot. Maybe this is a good sized pot. And then the water that I use is Crystal Geyser. Now this is a pint bottle, but it also comes in gallon bottles. This is recycled, #1 plastic, doesn't break down, no BHA, all that stuff this water it's called Crystal Geyser. It comes from Mount Shasta in California, or Northern California. So Mount Shasta, this comes from 14,000 feet in the ground. Nothing is done to it. One of my patients was CPA, was down there. He worked for Price Waterhouse, and he was doing the books for him a couple years ago. So he went into the factory to see how they did this. And basically, it's a big pipe coming out of the mountain with a wire mesh there to make sure there's no particles in there. Goes into the system, into the bottles. Bingo, nothing's done to it. Best tasting water I think you can get, short of spring water out of the ground in your own backyard, but who has that? So we use this. We use this 2 to 1. So one of these of oats, 2 of those with water. Goes in the pot. You get the water warm, and then you start stirring. You don't have to boil them. You just get the water hot, and then you put the oats. You get the water hot, maybe right before boiling, and then you put the oats in. You start stirring. Okay, so that's the first step. What's the next step? Then we get to the part where you can do different things. I like to use butter, and I suggest that people use that instead of even pasteurized milk, and because there's a whole story on the pasteurized milk. Basically, it destroys the alkaline phosphatase, which takes the ionizable calcium out of it, so you can't get it to your tissues, and so it causes all kinds of problems. However, you can use butter. You have everything in the pot, and you stir it all up, and it's nice and hot. And then you can take a big slab of butter. This is Kerry's Gold butter. Another butter that's really good is the butter from Amos Miller Organic Farm. Another good butter is Organic Valley has raw butter, organic raw butter as well. So depending on how much butter you want to put in there, for my family, I'd just take a big chunk of it like that and put it in there to get it all stirred up. And then the other thing I do is I'd put a dash of, actually I backed up, I'd put a dash of Celtic Sea Salt in the water to begin with. Celtic Sea Salt is basically dried seawater with over 92 trace minerals, loaded with certain trace minerals, but there's a balance of all the trace minerals. One in particular that I'm thinking right now is iodine, which is important for your immune system. Another one is sodium, which is very important for your nervous system. All kinds of minerals. So the point is, you put a dash of this in the water. Then when you get the oats all hot and everything, you put the butter in there. Now, some people like to put, this is flax meal. This is from Bob's Mill. This is really good stuff too. This is a tremendous bodybuilding food for lots of different reasons. Omega this, omega that. But suffice it to say, it's a fantastic food. You can look it up online if you want about the flax meal. It's very good food. This company is called Now. I like their nuts because they don't do anything to them. They're raw, organic. These are sunflower seeds. Sometimes I put sunflower seeds in here. Sometimes I put almonds in here. Those are the two that I pretty much put in there a lot. I put those in there a lot. And then the other thing is I don't have any raisins. I forgot my raisins, but we use Newman's Own raisins. Those are pretty good. However, at the store, like Trader Joe's or other places, you might go to the bulk section and get some raisins, which are even cheaper, and you can put a bunch of raisins in there. So all of a sudden, you got all this stuff in there that you're mixing in, which is really good. And then I like to put a little bit of honey. Now, this is Hanna's honey. I'm here in Oregon, so we get this at Roth's IGA in Oregon. But there's another really good honey for people that are concerned. And this is local honey, by the way. You want to get local honey. Another honey that's really good for people that are concerned about blood sugar is called Lanier's. Tupelo honey. Comes from down south, from the Tupelo wildflower. It does not cause a spike in your blood sugar, which is really good. But if you don't have that issue, then you can use this. So this honey, your local honey or Tupelo honey. Okay, what else? Well, the other thing is some people like to put yogurt in their oatmeal, which is another variation. So the basic thing is the basic thing is the oats, and then you can vary it however you want, one day to the next, whatever. But this is the yogurt that I recommend, which is called White Mountain. It's White Mountain yogurt, and it's organic, and it's really got a bite, and it's really good. It's a little more expensive, but it's a fantastic yogurt. So you can mix this in with this as well. Some people will actually take these oats and make kind of like a granola with just the yogurt without even heating them up. That's another variation. So the point is there's a lot of variations here, but the basic point is you got the oats in the water, a little bit of salt. Once you get them all hot, you can add these things, and you've got a fantastic breakfast. I mean, and if you got kids, you can stuff them with this. Keep in mind that their stomach's about the size of their fist. So that's a good measuring stick, so to speak. And this is fantastic food, and it's cheap, and it's extremely nutritious. Now, what else can I tell you? Another thing that's really good that goes along with this for myself over the years has been poached eggs or soft-boiled eggs. And those are very bodybuilding foods as well, and you can use this kind of salt to salt the eggs. So that's a very basic breakfast. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to mention, part of my routine that I've stuck with for many years, is first thing in the morning I have my Jason Winters tea. This is the original herbal blend with chaparral, and it's loose and it's cheap. It's like 25 bucks for maybe 30 bucks for a jug of this. And the way you do this is you get a pot. Like for right now, it's for my wife and I, we make a pot at night, we get it warm, and take a heaping tablespoon of this, put it in here, stir it up, put the lid on, turn the fire off, and in the morning it's steeped, and that's what I drink first thing in the morning. The other thing I do first thing in the morning, I put a slug of my vinegar and honey, not my vinegar and honey, it's vinegar and honey. I use Hanna's honey, and I use Paul Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and the way you make this, half honey, half vinegar, you spin it around until it gets homogeneous like this, and it just never separates. And it can sit on the counter, it can sit in the fridge. You don't have to put it in the fridge, but if you want to, you can, because it doesn't spoil. Anyway, this is my opening drink of the day, so to speak. And then if you want any supplements, that's actually another discussion, but I'll go through it very quickly if you want. I'll just go through it with you. And then here, if you want this thing here, I have this thing that's called Foods That Help and Foods That Hurt. This is a summary of a lot of different conditions and foods that are helpful for different conditions. But again, we're talking about breakfast here, and I wanted you to get started first thing in the morning with a good breakfast, because the breakfast breaks the fast, and you're sleeping, so you're fasting. So it breaks the fast, gets you started for the day, and gets you in a good frame of mind because your brain has plenty of energy and oxygen and nutrients for the day. And if you're sitting at home, that's tough. Maybe you got some work to do, you got some different things you can do, but this will set the stage of bodybuilding material for your health for the day. So that's about it for the breakfast. We'll talk about lunch and dinner later on, but I hope that this is helpful for you. I hope it's very simple. It is very simple, and I hope I kept it that way for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call at 503-472-6550, or my website is donechiropracticclinic.com. Happy to help. Hang in there. Remember, your target right there is your health. The new normal for you is going to be your health. So that's what we want. Better health, let's put it that way. And thanks for watching.